In this video, let's learn how to create an interactive quality analysis dashboard. This is a multi-page dashboard. We have three sheets in this dashboard: overview, details, overall analysis. Let's cover the overview sheet first. Here, we will be covering quality score of three departments: back office, finance, and sales. We will analyze the findings by four auditors: Auditor A, Auditor X, Auditor Y, and Auditor Z. We will analyze the quality score of managers. We have three managers for each department. Next, there are steps. Step 1 will be finding total tasks performed by employees in each department. Step 2 will be finding the total of sample population taken for auditing. Step 3 will be finding the total of defect percentage out of the sample population considered for auditing. Step 4 will be finding the total of error percentage out of the sample population considered for auditing. Once we have all these details, we will then calculate the quality score for each department and each manager. On the right side, we have two visuals that shows details like defect percentage plus error percentage based on months and error percentage by months. With this, we can understand in which month we have the highest errors and analyze it to understand if there is any specific reason for the spike in error. Based on slicer selection, data gets updated dynamically. Next, we have the detail sheet. Here we have details like quality score, defects percentage, and error percentage based on the slicer selection. We have a visual that shows employees with highest errors and lowest errors. In the same way, we have three visuals that shows quality scores based on office locations, manager, employees. We have added conditional formatting to differentiate the results. Based on slicer selection, data gets updated dynamically. Next, we have the overall analysis sheet, which gives us the complete picture. Here we have details like quality score by department, quality score by office locations, quality score by office manager, quality score by employee name. With this, we can easily understand best performers and worst performers. In short, there is a lot of learnings. So without much delay, let's get started. Welcome back. In this video, let's learn the step-by-step process to create an interactive quality analysis dashboard. To create any dashboard, we need data. Open a new Power BI desktop. From Get Data option, select Excel. From the folder Practice Files, open the folder All Dashboard Files. Open the folder Quality Analysis Dashboard. Select the Excel file Quality Analysis Dataset. Click Open. Under Navigator tab, select the sheet and load the data. Our data is loaded in Power BI. Under Data View, we have three tables: Audited Details, Data Sampling, Employee Details. Under Audited Details table, we have columns like Auditor ID and Auditor Name. Under Data Sampling table, we have columns like Date, Employee ID, Department ID, Auditor ID, Manager ID, All Tasks, Sample, Defects, and Errors. Here, auditing is done every month. Out of all tasks an employee has performed, sample column gives the count of tasks taken for auditing. Defect column gives the count of defects identified out of samples checked. Error column gives the count of errors identified out of samples checked. Under Employee Details table, we have columns like Employee ID, Employee Name, Manager, Manager ID, Department ID, Department, Office Location. We have employees from multiple countries. We have details from departments like Back Office, Sales, and Finance. One thing you need to check before working on the data is see if there is any error in the uploaded data. For example, column headers appearing incorrectly. Well, it appears there is no issue. Next, let's create a calendar table. Click on Table Tools. Click on New Table. Add the syntax. Press enter. Our table is created. Change the format of date column to dates. Mark it as a calendar table using Table Tools option. Sort month column by month number. Next, click on Model View. Here, Data Sampling Table is connected with Employee Details Table using Employee ID column. Data Sampling Table is connected with Auditor Details Table using Auditor ID column. Create a connection between Calendar Table Date column and Data Sampling Table Date column. Now, all our connections are created. Next, let's create a table to store all our measures. In Report View, under Home tab, click on Enter Data option. Add the table name as All Measures. Click on Load option. A table is created with a blank column. We will delete the blank column later on. Next, let's create our measure. Our first measure will be to calculate all task column total. Create a measure. Add the syntax as all task total equals sum. Data sampling table all task column. Press enter. Our measure is created. Delete the empty column. Next, let's create a measure to calculate sample total. Add the syntax as sample total equals sum. Data sampling table sample column. Press enter. Our measure is created. Next, let's create a measure to calculate defects total. Add the syntax as defects total equals sum. Data sampling table, defects column. Press enter. Our measure is created. Next, let's create a measure to calculate errors total. Add the syntax as errors total equals sum. Data sampling table, errors column. Press enter. Our measure is created. Next, let's create our visuals. Under report view, from visualization pane, select a card visual. Drag and drop the measure, all task total to fields. Under Format tab, add a shadow effect. Duplicate the visual 3 times. Clear the existing selection. Drag and drop the measure, sample total, defects total, and errors total to it. Arrange the cards in an order. Let's change the card background color and font color. For the first visual, all task total. Under Format tab, change the background color to a shade of green. We are using hex color codes. Change the font color to white. For the second visual, sample total. Under Format tab, change the background color to a shade of blue. We are using the hex color codes. Change the font color to white. For the third visual, defects total. Under Format tab, Change the background color to a shade of orange. We are using the hex color codes. Change the font color to white. For the fourth visual, errors total. Under Format tab, change the background color to a shade of red. We are using the hex color codes. Change the font color to white. Next, let's create 4 measures to find defect percentage, errors percentage, sample percentage, and quality score. For defects percentage measure, add the syntax as defects percentage equals divide sum data sampling table defects column comma sum data sampling table sample column comma blank. Press enter. Our measure is created. Change the format to percentage. For error percentage measure, add the syntax as errors percentage equals divide sum data sampling table errors column comma sum data sampling table sample column comma blank. Press enter. Our measure is created. Change the format to percentage. For sample percentage measure, add the syntax as sample percentage equals divide sum data sampling table sample column comma sum data sampling table all task column comma blank. Press enter. Our measure is created. Change the format to percentage. For quality score measure, add the syntax as quality score equals if Defects percentage equals blank, comma, blank, comma, 1 minus defects percentage. Press enter. Our measure is created. Change the format to percentage. Next, let's create a visual for quality score. Select a card visual. Drag and drop the measure quality score to it. Add a shadow effect. Change the data label font size to 25. Change the category label font size to 12. Duplicate the visual 3 times. Clear existing selection. Drag and drop the measure sample percentage, defects percentage, and errors percentage. Place the card visuals next to prior card visuals and send it backwards. Select a shape from Insert tab. Remove outline. Change the fill color to black. Place it over the 8 visuals and then send it backwards. Select all 8 visuals and the shape. Right-click and group it together to create a single KPI visual using the keyboard shortcut key Ctrl A. We have the result. Simple as that. Let's learn more about this dashboard in the next video. Welcome back. In this video, let's learn more about quality analysis dashboard. Let's add a visual that shows defect percentage vs error percentage by months. From visualization pane, select a stacked column chart. Drag and drop month column from calendar table to access. Defects percentage measure to values. Error percentage measure to values. Add a title as defect percentage vs error percentage by months. Add data label. Position will be inside base. Add a shadow effect and a border line. Change the fill color to red. Now we have the month-wise error details. Next, let's add a visual that shows error percentage by months. From visualization pane, select a clustered column chart. Drag and drop month column from calendar table to access. Error percentage measure to values. Add a title as error percentage by months. Add a data label. Position will be inside base. Add a shadow effect and border line. Add conditional formatting to data colors. Select format style as gradient. Field will be error percentage measure. We will use red for max error percentage and green for min error percentage. We will also use a divergence as yellow color. Press OK. Now We have the month-wise error details. Now we know the months with highest errors and lowest errors. Simple as that. Next, let's add 3 slices. Department, auditor name, manager name. We have selected the slicer orientation as horizontal. For department, let's make it a single select. We have added shadow effect and borderline. On top, add a text box and add the title as Quality Analysis Dashboard. Add the page name as Overview. Now, based on slicer selection, our data gets updated dynamically. Simple as that. Next, add a new page. Let's name it Details. Copy paste the department slicer from Overview page. Click on Don't Sync option. Let's make the orientation vertical. Next, let's create a visual that shows quality score. From visualization pane, select a God chart. Drag and drop quality score measure to values. Add a title as quality score. Add a shadow effect and borderline. Next, copy paste the auditor name slicer from overview page. Click on Don't Sync option. Let's make the orientation vertical. Next, let's create a visual that shows defects percentage. Duplicate the visual. Clear selection. Drag and drop defects percentage measure to values. Add a title as defects percentage. Next, let's create a visual that shows error percentage. Duplicate the visual. Clear the selection. Drag and drop error percentage measure to values. Add a title as error percentage. Next, let's create a visual that shows details like sample total Vs, defects total Vs, error total for all the employees. From visualization pane, select a scatter chart. Drag and drop employee name column to details. Sample total measure to x-axis. Defects total measure to y-axis. Error total measures to size. Quality score to tooltips. Under Format tab, add a title as Sample Total was, Defects Total was, Error Total. Add a conditional formatting for data colors. Format style will be gradient. Based on field will be quality score measure. Minimum will be lowest value, red color. Add a divergence as middle value, yellow color. Maximum will be highest value, green color. Once done, press OK. Next, under Format tab, under Shapes, let the size be 8. Add category label. Add color border. Add a shadow effect and border line. Add a grid line for x-axis and y-axis. Next, let's add a visual that shows details based on locations. From Visualization pane, select a table visual. Drag and drop office location to values. Sample percentage measure to values. Defects percentage measure to values. Error percentage measure to values. Quality score measure to values. Let's add a conditional formatting to quality score column. Under values, select the drop-down of quality score column. Select conditional formatting and background color. Add the condition as format style will be gradient. Based on field will be quality score measure. Minimum will be the lowest value, red color. Add a divergence as middle value, yellow color. Maximum will be the highest value, green color. Once done, press OK. Add a title as quality details based on locations. Add a shadow effect and a border line. Next, let's create a visual that shows quality details based on manager. Duplicate the visual. Change the title as quality details based on manager. Replace office location column with manager column. Drag and drop department column to values. We have the result. Next, let's create a visual that shows quality analysis based on employees. Duplicate the visual. Change the title as quality details based on employees. Replace manager column with employee name column. We have the result. Now, based on slicer selection, our data gets updated dynamically. Simple as that. Next, let's add one more page. Add the name as Overall Analysis. Duplicate the visual error percentage by month from Overview page. Clear the existing selection. We will create a visual that shows quality score by departments. Drag and drop department column to access and quality score to values. We have the result. Next, duplicate the visual. Clear the existing selection. We will create a visual that shows quality score by office locations. Drag and drop office location column to access and quality score to values. We have the result. Next, duplicate the visual. Clear the existing selection. We will create a visual that shows quality score by managers. Change the visual to a clustered bar chart. Drag and drop manager column to access and quality score to values. We have the result. Next, duplicate the visual. Clear the existing selection. We will create a visual that shows quality score by employee name. Drag and drop employee column to access and quality score to values. We have the result. We are not adding any slicer in this page as it provides an overall analysis. Simple as that. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial and learned something new. Save and close the PBIX file.